Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Leili Fatehi, and I represent Friends of the Mississippi River. Today, I'm going to limit my testimony to two provisions found in either the House or Senate versions of the bill. First, FMR supports the inclusion of the Senate's language on R43 through 44, setting a goal of 25% reduction in water pollution by 2025. Yesterday, somewhere between 800 and 1,000 Minnesotans from all over the state came to the Capitol to show their support for protecting Minnesota's water and other natural resources. Some of you may have had the opportunity to meet with some constituents that were part of this group who may have directly expressed their support to you. If the legislature cannot come together to support even a goal of cleaner water for Minnesotans to drink, fish, and swim in, it will send a clear signal to these and millions of other Minnesotans that there's a fundamental disconnect in values and priorities between their elected officials and them. Second, FMR opposes the Senate language on R106, which suspends water quality standards that are scientifically and empirically demonstrated to be necessary for protecting our rivers and our streams from dangerous levels of phosphorus and related pollutants. Furthermore, this language would bring the state of Minnesota out of compliance with the requirements of the Clean Water Act by requiring it to suspend water quality standards that have been approved by the EPA. And so quite the opposite of creating regulatory certainty for local units of government, this provision would create substantial uncertainty for them in terms of obligations that may be imposed on them subsequently by EPA or legal liability that they may face. FMR agrees, but we will defer to the testimony. You'll shortly hear from some of our colleagues from other environmental organizations who will express support for the Senate language on R90 to classify private data used for draft EIS, for draft environmental impact statements as public data, as well as opposing the House language on R85 through 86, which eliminates the coordinating authority for the EQB and turns it into yet another business first stop. And then finally, I want to express my disappointment that once again we find ourselves before a committee that has imposed limitations on the scope of public testimony such that major substantive issues are excluded from discussion. There are meaningful substantive differences between the House and Senate language that, for example, prohibits the MPCA and the DNR from using guidance and bulletins and interpretive statements to assist regulated industries with understanding and complying with environmental protections. So too are there meaningful policy differences in the sections on buffers, for example, in terms of allowing landowners to request approval for using alternative practices instead of buffers in order to meet statutory requirements. And I'm somewhat dismayed by the decision to disallow or to preclude public testimony on some of these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much.